I thank everyone for joining us today, and I perhaps would like to ask us to wait a minute or two just for more participants to arrive. We are now half full from the registered number, so hopefully people will come and not miss the start and some of the most important things we're about to hear. So we will start very soon. Thank you for your patience. Hello again. Again, to all those who arrived a little bit late, welcome to our third webinar on open calls. It is a great pleasure to greet you today. Thank you for your registration and thank you for your participation. Our project is now closing to the end of its first year, and a very turbulent year it has been. I would like to say particularly challenging for a project that has to deal with cross-border cooperation and in the age of COVID pandemics. But I think we have managed to successfully navigate through this first year in the previous two calls that we have organized, and we can thank for that to you as our community and our network of stakeholders. And we appreciate all the things and all the effort you are doing in joining us and helping us disseminate our idea and our concepts, but also to all our partners who are participating and performing in this project. And first and foremost, to our excellent coordinating team who is today with us, ahead with Professor Nikolaos Svoros from the University of Peloponnese. Before we start, I would like to just give you a brief
Hello, this is Christos Antonopoulos. I'm the technical manager of the project. We seem to have a technical problem connecting with Boris, our moderator. So I guess I will take up this role. And Boris is back online. Boris, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm terribly sorry for the error that happened. The network just disconnected abruptly, so I'm back. Okay, so sorry, I just wanted to give you 1 minute of introduction of how this session is going to work. We are going to hear a couple of presentations in the order that are going to be announced, and you have all received the program. We have received only one question so far from you via email, and to answer that question immediately, as you can see in the participants window, we are recording, yes, we are recording this session, and it will be posted online, and you will be provided with the link, even if you have to leave earlier or you are prevented from attending today. For all other questions, I encourage you to use the chat option in this Zoom platform, and all these questions will be recorded and asked live later by me to the presenters. Feel free to set them and ask them at any time, and we will sort them out and make sure that each and every question is answered in detail. Later on, you can access these questions through our question and answer session at the website. So hopefully without further technical issues, we can continue and allow our first presenter to welcome you and tell you something about our project. Our coordinator, Professor Nikolaos Svoros, will now take the microphone. Nikos, please.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Just give me a second to share my screen and start with our first presentation. As Boris mentioned earlier we have a bunch of presentations today that we intend to guide you through the third round of open calls. And before that, I would like to make a short introduction of SMART4ALL project. The goal of the project is to provide and build capacity through digital innovation hubs across Europe, but with special focus in Southeastern and Central Europe. This is the goal of the project. SMART4ALL started on 1st January 2020. It's 8.6 million euros project coordinated by University of Peloponnese, and it is targeting smart anything, low energy computing everywhere domain, and especially the area 2 that is related to customized powering cyber physical systems and the Internet of Things. So we're marching at the end of the first year. SMART4ALL consortium consists of 25 highly competent partners from mainly originated from Southeastern and Central Europe. The mixture of the partners is quite interesting because we are involve universities, research centers, but also investors, networking organizations, SMEs, existing functional innovation hubs, and NGOs. This is a short overview of SMART4ALL partners. More details about their role and their background you can find by visiting our official website. So what is all about SMART4ALL? The vision of the project is, as I said, to build capacity among European stakeholders. And the challenge here is that we are trying to combine different culture, different policies from of course, different geographical areas and with different applications domains. Per area, we have different focus in the application that are, if I'm allowed to say, in the mainstream. How do we plan to do it? Actually, through the development of cross-border experiments. So we're funding knowledge transfer through cross-border experiments. The idea is to try and build the bilateral collaboration between academia and industry and mutually benefit each other. The technological areas of interest for SMART4ALL, as I said, is customized low energy computing and the Internet of Things. And the application areas we're focusing include digitized environment, digitized agriculture, digitized anything, and digitized transport. If we try to visualize these primitives, you can see in this image that we have, of course, the four pillars. We have the different areas, and the idea is to start building community at regional level, then grow up at national level, and end up at the end of the project with strategies at European level. How do we plan to do it? Apart from the funding, we have a very clear targeting at the digital skill agenda of European Commission, which were not only targeting, but also implementing at its full extent. We also have a unique characteristic that we're funding technologies, not only for the pillars, but also taking into account sensitive social groups. This is very important for SMART4ALL. And in order to accomplish all that, we are developing a unique set of services that are presented through our marketplace as a service, our one-stop shop, where you can find all you need in order to enter the digital era. This is something that my colleagues will provide in detail in the next slots. Regarding the objectives of the project, apart from the technological areas, we are interested also to support areas where business sectors are underrepresented. We would like to unlock Southeastern Europe parties and link them to investing initiative. I like a lot to say, and I think this is true, that in the context of SMART4ALL, we would like to reveal hidden innovation treasures across Eastern Europe and give them an opportunity to become a success story at marketplace, at the international market arena. To support this, we're developing novel tools that will allow these companies or consortia to move forward, but not only to build their first prototype and support them in how to build it, but also to guide them in the path towards a successful commercialization project. This is very important, as you understand, that we want to ensure the project sustainability and growth through the experiments, but would like to have success stories after the end of the project. Of course, the engagement of sensitive social groups is of paramount importance for us, and as I said, we are fully compliant with the digital skills and job policy of European Commission. So having said that, let's see what SMART4ALL offers in terms of services. We have three groups of services. Services related to ecosystem. You will see that currently speaking, we have not, we're still in the first year of the project, and we have built so far a network that has more than 200 companies, institutes from South and Eastern Europe. So ecosystem services are closely related to the extension of this network and providing access to the partners of the network to our resources. Of course, we have support through ethics coaching to our the consortia that will be funded by SMART4ALL, and of course we are offering interconnection and opportunity finding through the tools we are offering at ecosystem level. The second pillar is related to business services. So as you see, it's not only the funding we are offering through open calls, but it's also the services such as ethics coaching or business coaching, partner search, training courses. This is a bouquet of services that will help the consortia and the companies that will be funded through open calls not only to grow up, but to grow up in the right way and having the right capacity to move into the next day. And of course, we have the third pillar, that it is the technological pillar for technical coaching, access to infrastructure and services. All these are available through our marketplace. So 3 types of experiments in SMART4ALL: SMEs, industry, university research institute can participate. The constellation of the consortia depends always on the type of the instruments you select. In total, we plan to fund 67 external Pathfinder application experiments in the 4 pillars of SMART4ALL. The instruments were funding through open calls. It's knowledge transfer experiments. This is the first round that has successfully selected 8 KTs that are about to sign their contracts and start their implementation. We're currently in the phase of evaluation of FTTEs, and the next round, this is actually what the webinar is all about. It's the cross-domain technology experiments, €8,000 project for 9 to 12 months. So the call opened yesterday. The deadline is till end of March. So there's I have a lot of time ahead for preparing. And on top of, in parallel with the external experiments, we're also planning 21 internal experiments that will be developed from SMART4ALL partners. In case of not having done it already, feel free to join us through our newsletter, our services, and our marketplace and our site. It's very important to be on board on the network because you will be up to date about the latest actions of the projects and the latest funding opportunities we offer. Of course, you can always follow us on social media. We're particularly active and a lot of information is floating around there, so feel free to join us. And we have also our contact team where we have, apart from myself and my colleagues, we have also distinguished colleagues from Central, East, South, and Balkan area that are always happy to provide information, clarification, and more details, or help you in addressing questions that might pop up during the preparation process. So feel free to contact them. And I think this is it from me as an introduction of SMART4ALL. I don't know, Boris, would you like to have questions now in case we have questions? I'm not sure. Or postpone them for the question and answer session at the end of the day.
Well, yes, because I lost connections. Any questions asked at the very start of the webinar, I'm missing in the chat, but so far there have been no questions. I think people are waiting for the end to...
Okay, this is great. So I will stop sharing my screen, and now I will give the floor to Christos for presenting the next slot.
Okay. Hello everyone. From my side, my name is Rissandronopoulos and I'm the technical manager of SMART4ALL. Let me share my presentation. The goal of my presentation here is to say that SMART4ALL main objective is not only to fund proposals, but also to support proposals. I'm sure that the main interest of all of you is how to get proposals prepared and how to have successful preparation and be funded. But we also focus a lot in the context of SMART4ALL in the marketplace and the services that we want to provide in order to meet a very critical objective of the project, which is to ensure the post-project sustainability and growth of the experiments. So we want to offer any kind of service and actually multifaceted assistance in order to brokerage the Pathfinder application experiments. Provide mature services that will attract customers and will make the project sustainable after the end of the funding period. And in order to do that, we want to provide the right tools, we want to provide the right services, and we want to provide adequate resources. So I will be very brief and be very specific. On one hand, what we are going to provide is coaching. Each funded project will have a technical coach, a business coach, and an ethics coach if that is required by the nature and the description of the project. These coaches will offer support and guidance throughout the project and the duration of the funding period. Their role is two-faceted. On one hand, of course, they are going to offer support and guidance and sit with the consortium, the consortia that are going to be funded, and define a technical plan, business plan, or ethics that they need to take into account. But on the other hand, they are going to evaluate and they are going to score the projects, where we have already prepared specific forms that will be periodically completed by the coaches. And based on these forms, we will evaluate the projects and take appropriate actions in order to guarantee as much as that is possible the success of this project after the end of the funding period. Another critical aspect is to offer the required resources. We do acknowledge that there are a lot of ideas, very good prototypes, but in order to go from the domain of the prototype to the domain of a successful commercial product, a success story, you may need resources that are not very easy to come by or to acquire. Therefore, in the context of the SMART4ALL, we have developed and we are developing and we are extending a state-of-the-art data center and computing center that is specifically targeted and specifically developed for the network of SMART4ALL, and in particular, the projects that are going to be funded. Through this infrastructure, we are going to provide software as a service, hardware as a service. We are talking about a scalable architecture that will be tailor-fitted to the needs of each specific project. Of course, 24/7 technical support, high-speed network interconnection directly to the Greek network, bypassing any other obstacles from the university of any other problems. And of course, various open source software in order to support virtualization. This infrastructure is being developed here by our lab and is going to be maintained and hosted in the premises of the Embedded System Design and Application Laboratory. Just indicative numbers in order to be even more specific. Right now, we have available around 164 general purpose CPUs, more than 1.2 terabyte RAM memory, various hypervisoring technologies, of course, the classic VMware ESXi, but also we are promoting the new and prominent Proxmox virtualization technology. A lot of storage capacity, either at SAN level or at network attached storage level, which aggregatively now it's around 50 to 60 terabytes, and we are continuously increasing this capacity. Of course, we do acknowledge that a lot of experiments may have specific requirements, security and privacy requirements. Therefore, the whole infrastructure is secured by dedicated hardware firewalls. two of them in a cascade topology. And last but not least, what I think it's something that distinguishes this effort from other data centers is that we are also going to provide specialized high-performance computing nodes. A lot of experiments nowadays don't rely, or they don't just need general purpose CPU processing units, they need something more high-end like FPGA or GPU nodes. We have already installed them and they are ready to be provided to the project according to the specific needs of each project. Furthermore, we are going to provide tools that will help and assist the management of the project. Therefore, we focus and we are going to offer Nextcloud-based infrastructure, offering tools related to file repository, collaborative tools, calendars, task manager, management tools, reporting tools, and furthermore. Of course, there is going to be 24 technical support from our team, and it goes without saying that if the project wants other tools to be installed and be provided to them in order to assist in the project management, of course, this can also be provided. A third aspect is the matchmaking service. Another need is to find the right partner. Also in that area, we do acknowledge that, we do acknowledge that the first critical step in order to have a successful project is to find the right partner. And in many cases, you don't have the right partner right away. So we want to assist in this process. We want to assist all possible proposal partners to form the right and competitive consortia. How we are doing it and how we plan to do it in the future. Right now, we are at level at version 1, where we basically leverage the local ecosystem of all the SMART4ALL partners. So we have a ticketing system, we accept your request, and we are exploiting the local ecosystem of all our partners in the project. Now we are developing version 2, where additionally to that, we have aggregated all the information from the SMART4ALL network in one single database, let's say. It's actually a tool, it's a portal, a local portal, where we have aggregated the information of more than 250 members that roughly these are the members of SMART4ALL network right now, and they are increasing. So we have a very big pool of potential partners for any organization, SME, university that may be interested to prepare a proposal. This tool is currently being developed and is going to be available in the next days. Also, we plan to even extend this tool and go to version 3, where we are going to add artificial intelligence techniques in order to try and optimize the matchmaking, find the right partner for the right request, and also minimize the delays that we have when we try to find the correct match. Last but not least, we have the marketplace. The marketplace is a cornerstone concept of SMART4ALL, even from its proposal preparation. We want to have a one-stop shop and one-stop portal that is equally user-friendly for the experts as well as the non-experts. The main idea is to provide the right tools and the right hooks for SMEs, mid-caps, in order to enhance and optimize their business. Right now, we have prepared the first version and the infrastructure, the basic infrastructure of this marketplace. We have followed the microservice paradigm and all the most prominent development techniques in order to provide, basically at this level, open and proprietary cloud services, computing and communication platforms, open source tools and middleware frameworks, as well as open source design tools and training open courses. So we plan to have a big, very extended nexus of artifacts, as we call it, from different categories offered to the SMART4ALL network and basically to everyone. All this information, all these tools and all these services right now are accessible through our official site. This is right now the main entry point. And as Nikos mentioned, I would like to invite you to visit our website, browse through the website and find all the information that you require or that may be relevant to your goal. And even if you don't find it, please contact us directly. We really would like to hear you and hear your questions and hear your requests. Furthermore, as Nico said, we are quite active in the social network part, so please join our channels of communication and channels of information, and any kind of questions you may have, we are more than happy to receive them and answer them. So this is all from my side. I try to be very brief in order to go to the main part of this webinar, and which is how to get the money. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christos. Questions are slowly arriving. We have a couple of them through emails also, but I think they will refer to the final presentation of today's webinar. I would just like to emphasize something to the participants. So beside the money we are offering as a temptation for the call, we are also permanently offering these tools that you can use not only to prepare the project but also to execute your project. And this is I would like to say a very interesting value proposition also for all of you. So please feel free to investigate, regardless of whether you win funding in this call or maybe get the chance to win it in the next one. So without further ado, I will give the floor to our next presenter, Antonio Montalvo from Funding Box Accelerator, to present us how to get this equity-free funding and boost the cross-border technology transfer experiments. Antonio, I give you the microphone.
Okay, good morning, and thank all of you for your attendance to this webinar. I'm going to share my screen, first of all, so that I can share the presentation. Is it visible? Can you see it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about the SMART4ALL open calls, which, as it is stated in the headlines, is a very good opportunity for Southeastern and Central European countries to apply and to get some funding for boosting the technology and the business development in that area. So I'm going to talk about the goals, the verticals of SMART4ALL very quickly, since it has already been discussed from our coordinator, Nikos. What's our value proposition? What are the current open calls and also the calls that are up to come? Who can apply? What's the program about these open calls? What's going to be the selection process? Just an overview of this process. What are the criteria for the evaluation or for the evaluators? The financial support, what we call deliverables. You will understand that later. And the schedule, how you can apply. And then we will leave the floor to all of you for the questions and answers. So just to summarize what Nikos was already saying, it's but that being said in a different way, we have two main, I would say, goals. One is, of course, to transfer knowledge and technology between academia and industry in the technology areas, which is the customized low energy computing, and for cyber physical systems and Internet of the Things. It is important to note that these experiments have to be cross-border. So the matchmaking tool that my colleague Christos was presenting is very useful for this kind of getting the right partners in the experiments. And regarding the areas that we need or we are focused in is that we want to accelerate the digital transformation and increase digital skills, specifically in these underrepresented geographical areas, which is the Southeast and Central European region, in the 4 SMART4ALL verticals. So the verticals were mentioned by Nikos. Here you have a summary of the potential competence fields that could be included in these 4 verticals: the digitized transport, digitized environment, agriculture, and anything. I need to remind you or to alert you that all the information that is contained here is also included in the guide for applicants of any of the calls. So in this guide for applicants, I will let you know how to access it. You have all the information that is included here. So the verticals are described there. Okay, that's also another way of saying what my colleagues previously mentioned, that our value proposition is consistent in not only in the fact that we are launching 9 open calls in the time frame of the project, and our aim is to support through these 9 open calls 67 cross-border Pathfinder application experiments, PAEs, in 3 different batches. So there will be 1 batch for KTE, FTTE, CTTE in the year 2020. So this year you will notice in a while that we have launched 3 of calls, the first batch, I would say. And then there will be a second batch of 3 calls in next year and another one in 2022. The funding for these open calls is up to 80,000 euros, equity free. This is important to know. And then apart from the open calls, we are providing support and coaching from experts in technology, business development, public and private fundings, and also ethics. And as Nikos and Christos especially was describing in his previous presentation, there is a marketplace as a service, and basically providing technical tools and services, but also brokerage, coaching, and guidance to access funds. So currently we have an open call which was opened yesterday on the 1st of December, and they will close on the 1st of March next year at 17 hours Central European time. This is the last call from this first batch, and it is called the CTTE, which is a cross-domain technology transfer experiment. The idea of the intention of these experiments is that one technology provider, that can be academic or industrial, transfer a novel technology to one industrial technology, what we call the technology receiving partner. This technology receiving partner is going to behave as an early adopter of this technology. And then there is a third party involved, which is what we call the industrial productization, that will extend this technology as a value chain by providing new opportunities in the market. So there are 2 partners that are actually receiving the technology. One is devoted to, I would say, to test and early adopt this technology, and then a wide extension of this product by the industrial productization. Just remembering that as I said, there were two initial open calls that in this first batch were already closed. The KTE was with knowledge transfer experiments, and the FTTE, focused technology transfer experiments. Here, the important thing is that there will be a second batch opening in March 2021 for the KTEs, and in June 2021 for the FTTs. So a description of these open calls will come when time comes in March and in June. We will do specific seminars as we did previously. The important call we are focusing in this presentation is the CTTE, which is the current call, which is open. So we were mentioning that either the technology providers and the technology receivers and the prioritization partners had to be either academic or industrial. What do we understand by academic partners? They have to be universities or other academic institutions, of course, public institutions. Whereas the industrial can be SMEs or slightly bigger companies, which basically, according to the definition from the European Commission, have to be companies of less than 500 employees and less than 100 million euros of turnover. In this category, or in these two categories, we can include system integrators and technology providers. Sometimes they are industrial, sometimes they are academic. So the important thing here is that they are specialized in technology transfer or system integration to end users, and they have to fall in one of these two categories. The important thing here in CTTE is that there has to be a consortium of three entities. As I explained before, a technology supplier, a technology receiver, and a productization partner. And that one of the industrial partners has to lead the consortium. So in fact, the academic partners cannot be the leaders. And this is something important because in the previous calls, we received proposals that included the academic partner as being the leader. Here, I need to insist that it has to be the industrial one. The second important thing to note is that they have to be cross-border from two different eligible countries. So to better understand what it means that these are the possibilities, the combinations that can be possible. So from the technology providers, they can be either academic or industrial. And the technology receivers, they can be industrial or academic. But the productizer company has always to be industrial. So since two of the countries have to be different, these are the possibilities that the academic is from the country one, and then the industrial from country 1 and 2 or 2, and then the productizer would be from the country 2 if these ones are 1 and 1, or from the country 1 if these are 1, 2, and 1, or even you can have 3 different countries participating. And the rest of the combinations are shown here. Regarding the eligible countries, and that can immediately answer one of the questions that was in the chat, we are talking about the EU member states, all of them, included for the moment the United Kingdom, because the Brexit has not taken in place. And then the H2020 associated countries, and here you can find Switzerland. Well, that was one of the questions from one of the attendees, and other Southern Southern East European countries. I will mention and describe this in detail later. a description of the whole countries that are eligible is included in the guide for applicants. There you will have the names of all the countries that are eligible and all the countries that are in the associated countries from the European Commission. Okay, what's the program? And that's valid for every of the calls. We have to prepare the open calls. There is a proposal submission that lasts 3 months. That's why the CTTE started yesterday and will last 3 months until the 1st of March. And then there will be 2 months for us to do the evaluation process. And then once the selected proposal has been selected, then will be 1 month to do the sub-grant agreement signature process. And then the PAAs, the Pathfinder Application Experiment, will start. You can see that there are different durations for the FTTE and the CTTE projects. We are talking about 5 months, 3 months for the KTTE. In total, we are planning to select this quantity of applications, of proposals for the CTTE 12 and per batch 4. So 4 applications will be selected in the call that is actually is currently open. Okay, what about the selection process? Once the proposal submission has ended, the deadline, as I say, is on the 1st of March next year. Then this is the process. We do an eligibility check just to check if the applications qualify in terms of this SME or not SME, a slightly bigger company qualification. Also regarding the fact that we have one academic, one industrial, and the privatization is industrial, or one of the combination is observed. And then there will be an expert's evaluation, 2 independent experts per proposal will evaluate every single proposal, and then there will be a consensus meeting between the members of the executive board plus 2 of the external evaluators. After that, we will proceed with the signature of the sub-grant agreement. For those people, those applications that during this process have been rejected, we will send an email giving all the details on why these applications have been rejected. The evaluators have to evaluate the proposals according to these criteria. You have this also in the guide for applicants. So, and that's why we are asking in the application form, you need to fulfill a lot of information for the evaluators to be able to assess and score on the ambition, innovation of the approach, the benefits of the collaboration, the market opportunity, competition analysis, commercial strategy and scalability, and the work plan, the team, and the resources assigned. So all of this has to be evaluated, and you will be asked in the form you have to submit a lot of information that will be the information upon which the evaluators will be able to assess. So we, as you see, we have 3 main criteria, which are the excellence, the impact in the implementation, and within each criteria, some sub-criteria. So each criterion will be scored from 0 to 5 by the evaluators. And there's an individual threshold that needs to be met, which is 3. So if in one of the criteria you get less than 3, you are out. Your proposal will be rejected. Then we apply the weighted sum. In this case, every single criteria weights the same. And we add all these scores, provided they are higher than 3. And again, here there's a threshold that needs to be met, which is 10. So the addition of these 3 scores has to be higher than 10. What it is interesting here is that the final score will be obtained by the addition of this score plus the fact if you meet one of these 2 sub-criteria. One is the fact that one of the members of the consortium comes from the SEE region. So the SEE region, not to get confused, is within this list. Again, this list is also provided in the guide for applicants. So all these countries are kind of prioritized. Then you can have, since it has to be co-water, a partner from Croatia and another one from Germany and the other one from Spain. So, but at least one of them has to be from the SEE region to be given an extra point. I mean, if no partner comes from this region, you can still apply, and maybe you can be selected if your proposal is excellent, but you won't get this extra point. And the other extra point comes from these proposals that are going to address somehow the COVID-19 crisis, providing a solution in any kind of. In the application form, you will see that there is a specific question for you to explain whether or not you are addressing, and if you address this problem, how can be the benefit of this solution. Okay, about the financial support, in this specific CTTE open call, we are giving up to 8,000 euros. That's for the whole consortium. So for the 3 members added. And then per partner, it has to be a maximum of 60,000. Of course, I believe that no consortium is going to propose 60,000 for one member and 10,000 and 10,000 for the other 2. This is important because you can apply as many times as you wish in SMART4ALL. You can probably apply to CTTE, but you can also apply to FTTE. You will be able also to apply for the following batches of the SATTE, but this has to be observed per partner. So one of the partners cannot get more than 60,000 in each of the calls. And there is also another limitation, which is 100,000 as a total for all of the calls coming from, not only from a SMART4ALL, from any 4MS or SAE project. So if you participate in other projects like, I don't know, Tetramax, which belongs to SAE, in total, you can only get 10,000 euros. Okay, before I leave this slide, it is important to know that this is a lump sum, and I will explain what a lump sum means in terms and practical terms for all of you, and that the lead partner is the one who will receive the funds, and then he will have to distribute the funds among the partners. We are not going to distribute the funds to each of the partners, okay? Just one of them, which has to be the lead partner, and the lead partner has to be an industrial partner. Okay, what a lump sum means? The lump sum means that we are going to pay you not against costs. I mean, we are going to ask, of course, in the application to let us know what are your costs, how you are going to spend the 80,000 euros, and especially the distribution among partners. But after that, we are not going to ask once the project is running, we are not going to ask you to send us any financial report or financial record, or to submit any invoices or whatever. We are going to pay you against the deliverables. We want you to work and to submit the result of your work in form of deliverables that will be evaluated by the mentoring committee, which is an internal committee. We'll do a technical evaluation, a business evaluation, and then depending on the score you receive for each deliverable, if the score is up above 7 points, you will be paid immediately. So the selection committee will validate the deliverable. If you have less than 7 points, then the selection committee has to meet and decide what to do. In case your performance is very poor, you can even be excluded from the program. Okay. If not, if you succeed, you will receive the installments of the lump sum in this way: 30% after the initial plan that you need to submit after month 3, then the intermediate report after month 6, you will receive 50%, etc. Okay, regarding the schedule, as I said, these are the basic dates that you need to remember. It was launched yesterday. The deadline is the 1st of March. Then in this very month of March, we will do the open call evaluation and selection. The internal consensus meeting will happen in April. We will communicate the results in April. And since you have 1 month to do all the process of the sub-grant agreement signature, the start of this management is foreseen for June 2021. Okay, how you can submit an application? You have to go to the website, this website. I am going to show you an example. So when you click smart4all.fundingbox.com, you get into this landing page, and you have all the information. If you scroll down, you will see that we are still announcing the other open calls and when the open call will happen, the next one, but it is closed, you cannot apply anymore. But here you can apply to the CTTE. You can also apply directly by clicking here. Okay, you have 2 options, and you have the guides and documents here. You can, for instance, if I click here, CTTE, I will see again the possibility, the button to apply, or the button to access to the guides and documents. In the guides and documents, this is essential for you to understand that in here, you will have the guide for applicants. The guide for applicants is, I would say, the most important document, because here is where everything is explained. What I have just explained in 30 minutes, you have all the details there. And you have also the frequently asked questions, and you will also have the application form in Word. Why? Because that's the way you can work on the application offline. The other option is that you go and you apply directly here, and you will be directed to, of course, to this page, and then you can start a new application. In my case, I have already edited one, so I can edit. This is important to know, that you can start, and once you have started the application, you can submit as many applications as you like. before the deadline, and you can edit it as many times as you wish. But in any case, we understand that sometimes it's not very comfortable to apply and to put all the information here, because, for instance, for the excellence, you need to describe a lot of things. Normally, you have a maximum number of characters included in the description of each box, but instead of writing the description here, you can go back to the application form in Word, and you can work offline. And once you are done, then you can include all the documents and the descriptions here. Okay, let me go back to the. Okay, so the guides and documents are there, and then it's important to know also that we have a help desk that we encourage you to use, which is in this address. So the help desk, of course, is there for you to make any questions, any remarks, any doubts you may have during the process. So again, of course, you need to register to the Funding Box platform. This is something that you can do very quickly. And then you see, all those people as members. You can become a member, and then you can start adding the question. We receive those questions and we answer you on the spot, or maybe we can divert the question or readdress it to the right person within the consortium for you to be answered. So that's all for my side. If you have any questions, I give the floor back to Boris.
Thank you, Antonio. Yes, there are lots of questions regarding this this session. So I'll have grouped them a bit about the topic they concern. So I will ask maybe more than one question at a time, but they revolve around the same issue. So the first two questions are there any restrictions about the CTTE call? For example, if one company already gained a project, can they apply again or not? What is the number of proposals one person can submit, and can the same company apply in more than one proposal?
Okay, the same company can apply for more than one proposal. That is allowed. And again, please read very carefully the guide for applicants, because in the guide for applicants, you have the answers to most of your questions. But it is possible. You can apply to as many proposals as you wish, but only one can be selected, the highest ranked one. If the highest ranked one is between the four high ranked proposals. So again, you can apply as many times as a company in different projects, in different proposals, but only one could be taken for selection in this specific open call. Let's suppose that you are selected in CTTE in this batch, okay, as a company or as a consortium. This company or this consortium will be allowed to apply to any other open call that will be proposed in the future, or even if you applied to FTTE and you were selected, you can still apply. The only thing that needs to be observed is the maximum money you can get. I mean, each partner can only get 60,000 euros per open call, maximum. And in total, the maximum number is 100,000 euros. But this not only applies to the SMART4ALL open calls. Just imagine that you were selected in FTT, you received, I don't know, 40,000 euros, and now you want to apply to CTT and you get selected, the maximum amount would be 60,000. But if you applied and gain another project, I would say in another SAE, so Smart Anything Everywhere, or I4MS project, then again you are free. It is possible. The maximum amount possible per partner would be 100,000 euros. I don't know if it is clear.
Thank you, Antonio. A similar question comes along. Considering the restriction of the amount of funding per legal entity, in case we win SMART4ALL funding, are we in conflict to access other European Commission funds and programs?
I think I've already answered to that. I mean, basically, if you apply, you are involved in any other project from the European Commission that has nothing to do with Smart Anything Everywhere or I4MS, you are free. I mean, the rule I have explained is also valid within projects within the I4MS or Smart Anything Everywhere European Commission projects. The max in that case, again, just suppose that I will put an example. Tetramax. Tetramax is another project that belongs to the Smart Anything Everywhere initiative. Then if you were selected in Tetramax somehow and you received, let's imagine, 60,000 euros in total in Tetramax, now in SMART4ALL, you will only be able to receive up to 40,000 because the maximum is 100,000. If you are participating in another project that has nothing to do with I4MS initiative or the Smart Anything Everywhere initiative, you are free. The rule is not applicable there.
Thank you, Antonio. So how many partners need to be from academia and who should lead the proposal? I think you've answered that as well, but just how many partners need to be? I think none need to be from academia. And the question is, inclusion of university or academic institutions strictly required for the CTTE as the technologies for transfer are already in quite later stage? So do we need to include the academia in this call?
I mean, the academia can be a technology provider or the technology receiver. Okay, this is possible. The only partner that cannot be included in is in the productizer, because of course there has to be a company that is specialized in that matter. So these are the two possibilities. But if the technology provider is an academia, then the technology receiver has to be industrial. You cannot have the two, I would say, main partners being academic, whereas you can have the three partners, for example, be industrial. Okay, I think this is a clarifying table that clarifies all the different possibilities you may have.
So you cannot have free industrial partner.
Yeah,
you can have, yeah, these are the combinations, right? Okay, thank you. So on to the next question. What level of product maturity you expect at the end of the project?
For that, I can give the floor to maybe Nikos. In principle, there is no limitation in terms of TRL here, but if Nikos is here, maybe you could answer this.
Yes, Antonio. Yes, thank you. As Antonio said, there is no limitation at TRL level, but given that we're talking about the technology we plan to use and exploit in a field, I would say something around 5, 6, maybe 5 to 6. Again, this is not a prerequisite, but once we have the productizers on board, the idea is that you have the appropriate level of maturity in order to apply it in the field. So I think just to be on the safe side, something between 5 and 6 is okay.
In any case, what we are going to request you in the excellence part, in the soundness of the approach, is that the elevation of the TRL has to be justified. Okay, but we are not imposing a starting TRL level, but it can be an asset.
I think by default that given that we want to apply the technology in the field, in the productizer, this implies somehow that it cannot be the TRL level. For example, you have something that can be demonstrated and applied in the field. So I think this is the idea.
Also, if I can say one comment as well, this is Christos again. The proposal and the description of the work must be also realistic compared to the money that you're going to get. We're talking about 80,000 euros. So the effort should be, and the work should be mature enough to make sense that you get this money and you go to the next level. This means, in my practically speaking, that we want mature solutions. We want ideas that are close to the border of going to the productization, let's say, of the idea. Okay.
Okay.
This is Nikos again. If you look into the two instruments, the focus technology experiments, the cross-domain technology experiments, you will notice that actually in the first we're funding to develop a prototype, and in CTTE we're developing, we're funding the application of a maturity level of an existing prototype, not necessarily coming from an FTTE, in the field. So this by default leads you to a TRL level that is somewhere between 5 and 6.
All right, thank you. So on to the next set of questions. Is Switzerland eligible for this call, and can all European countries apply? I think we tackle with that, but Switzerland specifically, if you could just confirm, please.
I think I already said that during my presentation because I answered to that question already. Switzerland takes part of the H2020 associated countries. The list, the full list of these associated countries is included in the guide for applicants. There is actually, it's not the full list included there. There is a link to the official document from the European Commission that because this list varies from time to time. So instead of putting the names, we have decided to put the link to this, but Switzerland is included, as Norway, as other many countries.
Okay, thank you. Can a company from Southeast European country be the leader, or it must be the company from the EU? I think it's clear, but please just confirm for everyone's sake.
I would say that we actually would recommend that the Southern European countries take the leadership of the proposals. We are expecting to get a lot of good proposals from the Southern European countries. So yes, of course. And in my opinion, at least personally, I would recommend that the leaders, if possible, could come from this SEE countries.
How many percent can be just the chance to be somebody, any group from Southeast European part?
Sorry, I didn't understand the beginning.
I have a question. It's me, Betim. Antonio, do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because I would like to propose something which is very important for our area. It's transferring technology, this project, and included the Southeast European countries as well in such philosophy. But based on the first call, and some of companies, at least from Albania, don't trust anymore our project.
Why?
Because they are saying to me that we do not have any chance to get any project from this project. There are two
Antonio,
reasons. Sorry, let me
yeah.
say something. There are two reasons. First of all, I will create, tomorrow I will discuss, there is a meeting in Albania, exactly for Horizon 2020. I will discuss over there as well, at least to create a hub, to create a group of the people and group of the company. And after that, to try to be connected with the good companies or universities in Europe and to have at least some chances to get the project. But for the moment being, they are, to be honest, they are pessimists.
Okay, Betim, this is Nikos.
So just to finish the last one, Nikos.
Okay, sorry.
I'm asking you, there is any possibility in the future to open any call and to be competition, at least between our area, with some, just for sure, to have some companies or some from universities from Europe, and just to consider the fact that we cannot consider at least to be able to have a competition with, let's say, with the Greek partners, with Italian partners, with German partners, and so on.
Okay, Betim,
Yes.
thank you very much for your comments. These are very valuable and very important for us. So, first of all, just you should be sure that we take a close look into the applications, and we're trying to identify the reasons why the participation of areas like Albania, Montenegro, etc. is not as high as expected. So what I can say is it's a continuous, let's say, effort to improve the situation. The first thing is that, but this is something we will discuss also internally within the consortium. We need to
Yes. After 15 days, maybe. Yes.
Strengthen the mechanism for mobilizing the local ecosystem. We have some ideas there how this can be done. Regarding your colleagues, I think as a project, we are not allowed to restrict a call to a specific domain or area. Please keep in mind that this is a cross-border, so you definitely need to involve at least two countries. But for me, the right thing is that you should take advantage of our matchmaking services, our consortium, and bring your colleagues in contact with the right partners.
Exactly, so, that I would like to do. That tomorrow I will present something like that.
This is the first thing. This is the first thing. The second thing I would like to draw your attention is that in several cases we have spotted several very nice ideas coming from the region, but described in the wrong way. The evaluators have to apply certain type of criteria. Of course, you can understand that there are some companies or some groups that are more experienced in proposal writing compared to others. In order to reduce this gap, we plan to initiate within the next weeks, I would say, a series of webinars that will be dedicated not on the details of the proposals, but how to write a good proposal. So in step by step, what is expected, the do's, the don'ts, what you should clearly describe, how to present excellence, etc., etc. So I would like all, please pass this message to all the colleagues, and I'm also saying it in this floor that it's very important for us to mobilize people and increase the possibilities. We don't want to sacrifice excellence and the quality of the proposals, but we want to help people to write better proposals. To the extent we can do it, we will fully support it within the next weeks. So in a nutshell, what I propose is to take advantage of our matchmaking and our capacity to build, we will have by the end of the year a network of more than 300 companies and institutes. So we have the capacity to bring you to the right partners. Take advantage of it. This is the first. And the second, we will have people to improve their skills in proposal writing. For me, it's also, let's say, an unofficial deliverable for SMART4ALL. Okay, so that's my first reaction as a coordinator. I really appreciate your comments and your concerns. I'm 100% with you, and we will do our best in order to support all colleagues from Eastern countries. That's
Thank you very much. It was a great support from you. Every action that you try to do, are very important, and it's a great help for me for tomorrow, because I'm going to discuss at least half an hour tomorrow in front of the people here, high-level people from ministry and the others. And exactly, in the meantime, as I mentioned to you, I propose to do that in Kosovo as well, in North Macedonia as well. I don't know if you have seen my presentation in Prizren. I propose to have, let's say, smart hub, digital innovation, and blah, 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 based on our...
there are several activities we can take over. We will discuss it internally. I have a very clear and concrete plan how we can improve the situation. Please keep in mind that for SMART4ALL, this was the first call, actually the first two calls, but the heavy one was the FTTE. Nobody's perfect, and of course there is lots of room for improvement. And this is why it is important for us to get your feedback and try to improve the process and put the things in the way they should be. Okay.
No, you are right, but we have to improve the things from 2 points of view. As you mentioned, from organization and blah, 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 it's very important. But in the meantime, I see how I can improve the system inside Albania to put maybe some groups to work together. Maybe one group cannot do the job exactly.
Try to set up a hub where it will include different people and count on our support on it.
After that, to invite you or some companies to present something there and so on, and these are something that can be very useful for Albania.
Again, Betim, something important we have, of course, SMART4ALL, but our lab is also running a big digital innovation hub within which we can we have a hub-in-a-hub service, which means that we can establish a hub within the hub. So if we can provide you support, infrastructure, networking activities, whatever, this is something we can easily do. We'll discuss it bilaterally. As I told you, we have many solutions we can apply here. Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
The only thing I would like to stress on before concluding is that at the initial planning of SMART4ALL, we have during this period a detailed plan of visits in Albania, in Montenegro, not only myself, but also my colleague. Unfortunately, COVID-19 has drawn us back. And
destroyed completely a lot of things. You are right.
But I think we're quite flexible enough, and we will adapt. Okay. But
thank you very much,
again,
Nico. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, great. That was great. That's for me. So Boris, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. So to move on with the question, thank you, Betim, for these remarks. There are some very concrete questions now coming specifically for this CTTE call. The first question I would like to answer myself, because it has been partially already answered. The industrial productization partner who is expected to extend the value chain is meant to be sort of a pilot demonstrator. So who will test for a couple of months the solution that will be developed during the project. So the thing here is, I draw your attention, this is not a development type of a project. It should not be development phase. There could be some adjustment, but it is a project that is funding the adjustment of the company to implement what already exists. So if you have a solution that is partially developed and just needs to be improved in terms of the technology transfer, then you are in the right place. If you have just an idea or a concept and you think you should develop something, the 9-month period is too short, trust me, because you need to demonstrate successful implementation of something in another country. So that would be my answer, and I think all my colleagues already answered most of that regarding the technology readiness level. So another question is, could you provide a concrete example of receiver and producer, so what they should be? And similar to that, what is the degree of relativeness of the proposal in regards to the customized low energy computing cyber physical systems, meaning should they be included or fully referred only to those systems?
I don't know, Nikos, Christos would like to answer to this. Put in an example or giving an example of how the experiment could be. Because in fact, you have already explained in the previous reply what it is about. This is you need to first have already developed the technology. It is mentioned here, a novel technology that, okay, it is not widely used in the market. So, and this can be provided by an academic or an industrial partner. Then there can be a technology receiver. Here it is mentioned industrial, but it can be also academic, that it will be the early adopter. So it will, I would say, start to use this technology. And then the industrial productization partner has to, I would say, extend the use of this technology. I can imagine some examples, but I don't know the technical experts if they can provide a precise example of this. I know, for instance, one example, just to give you on the spot, because I know it, it was provided in another project, but there was a university that provided a technology for, I would say, communication for, I would say, using the telephone networks, the mobile telephone networks. It's a novel technology that is called IoT NB, and that there was, in this case, an industrial company from Italy that takes this technology and applies it to, in this case, it was on, this company was manufacturing devices for bikes to make the bikes, I would say, be connected to a network and give some feedback on data, on I don't know, the paths, the trips they have been making. So it's typically used by bike sharing companies. So this device typically was used with another kind of network of connection. And it was a lot of energy consuming. And then applying this new technology, they were able to improve the I would say, the life of the batteries that are needed in these devices to send all the information, and reduce the energy consumption. And they adopted that technology, this small company that is producing these devices. And another company that is the productization partner was an established company able to, I would say, disseminate this product in other countries. This third company came from Spain in that case. They had I would say, the commercial network to distribute and to have access to the market, to a wider market. They took that technology, they took that device that was earlier adopted by the technology receiver, and then they provided, of course, during the time frame of the project, they could only do some, I would say, pilots and some improvements of the network, the distribution, etc. But that's one example. But it can be hundreds, depending also you have a complete list of verticals and competence fields that you can use. So I'm sure that this has a...
Maybe I can offer another example. Imagine that I will use the two instruments, FTTEs and CTTEs. Again, I'm stressing that it's not a prerequisite for a CTTE to have an FTTE funded. But for example, FTTEs, imagine that we have two partners, one developing electronics and the other one developing, I don't know, algorithms, and they join forces and produce a smart sensor that does something smart in the field. This is the outcome of one FTTE. It could be. Regarding CTTEs, I would expect that these two partners come in collaboration with the third one, which is a big farming company that applies, I don't know, a number of these sensors in the field. So you have to exploit connectivity problems, battery problems, quality of sampling, whatever. So this is something related to what is expected. Of course, this is not restricting. Okay, it's just an idea that in CTTEs you have to bring on board the one that will benefit from what you are developing. And this way we're expecting to start knowing each other and start building a commercial collaboration that could be to lead in the future to a collaboration between a client and a provider or something like that.
Other in the same context, other examples that we have already discussed with potential partners. So one company is building image recognition software and has developed image recognition algorithm for plants. The idea, a very good idea, would be for another agriculture company to integrate this algorithm in their own plant fields in order to increase their products or to minimize the use of pesticides or to minimize the excess use of water and this kind of performance metrics, let's say. Or in another case, a company is developing a compression algorithm that compresses data on the fly in order to minimize power consumption of wireless sensors. This can be also interesting in fields like agriculture or industry or other kind of domains. But here you see the cross-domain. A development effort that is focused on on a specific domain is exploited by a different domain in order to increase their productivity. This is the main idea. Cybersecurity, I'm seeing the table that Antonio is presenting, and it's a very important table because it can give you a lot of ideas. Cybersecurity is also a big domain that can be applied in various other domains, for example.
Okay, thank you, Christos. I think we covered.
Sorry, one thing I'd like to add regarding this slide I am presenting now is that we recommend the applicants to really determine what's the area or the vertical they are going to make the application, because sometimes we realize that many applicants, they include their application as digitized anything when it could be actually be included in transport or environment or agriculture. So for us, it would be a lot easier if only the applications or the proposal that do not fit with one of these three go to anything. I don't know if this is clear. That's it, Boris.
Okay, thank you. Are there any eligible costs in this next call for the cross-domain technology transfer experiments? Eligible and non-eligible costs?
Of course, as I said, this is a lump sum. So while you are describing your solution in the implementation, there is a part for you to describe the resources to be assigned. But we are thinking more on, of course, costs dealing with human resources. And if you need equipment or other kind of costs, you can also express that need. But in practical terms, we are not going to, I mean, we are going to assess if the resources you are applying are good enough or are sufficient. Just imagine that you say that you are going to do your experiment with just junior people, for instance, instead of a balanced team. That is something we will take into account when scoring your proposal. But there is not a list of eligible costs as such that can be eligible and those that cannot be eligible. It's up to you. But it has to be something realistic, of good quality and effective. And if you are selected, then we are not going to ask you to provide us any cost justification by any means. So it's, as I said, is the work we are going to assess and fund.
Okay, so the next question is also very interesting, possibly for our attendees. How many applications have you received for the previous calls?
Okay, we cannot disclose the right number, but I would say that in FTTE we were about 100. So it was a very competitive, and we expect that CTTE is going also to be very competitive. So coming back to the team's reflections, yes, it is very important for us that we make sure that all the countries are well represented and are able to make good proposals, because we have only four proposals that are going to be selected, and typically we receive a lot of proposals.
Okay, the next question is how to consider time delays, because if you have an opportunity on the market right now and you apply and have to wait until June, and you engage partners from other countries, how to cope with the problem of the delay for the evaluation and the whole process if the topic is right now hot?
I don't have an answer for that. I mean, they need to wait. We can do nothing. I mean,
maybe I can help here. I would say that imagine the funding and the coaching as a supportive instrument to your roadmap and to your business plan. So you move forward as you plan without the support of SMART4ALL. And in case of succeeding in SMART4ALL, you have one more instrument to support your roadmap. So imagine SMART4ALL is not something that will take you to market. If you have a clear roadmap, it could be a supportive tool. So
yeah, I think that is a perfect answer to that. Thank you, Nikos. And to the last two questions, can a company that is in the same ownership as the SMART4ALL partner also apply?
Do you mean that it's a company in which one of the owners is one of the partners of SMART4ALL?
I think that was the intention of the question, yes.
The answer is no. I mean, it's also, if they read, the person who has made this question reads the guide for applicants, he will understand it very well, that no partners from SMART4ALL or people involved in the as employee or as having any relationship with the partners of SMART4ALL can apply. And this is for a very simple reason, is not to get any conflict of interest. So, yeah,
I think that's clear. Yeah, I think that's very clear from the ethic point of view. So, And the final question I have so far is, are you going to send us the presentations?
Well, what I know is that the whole webinar is being recorded. For the presentations, Boris, I'm open to send it to you.
Yes, we will upload them, and you will have access through the site of SMART4ALL. When we have uploaded the presentations and the YouTube link to our YouTube channel, of course, you will be notified from the list that you have registered.
Okay, I hope I haven't missed any of the questions. I think I wrote them down separately, all of them. And while we are considering signing out from this event, I want to thank everyone for their time, and particularly our presenters today, Nikolaos Svoros, Christos Antonopoulos, and Antonio Moltavo. In case you need any assistance, we will be providing local assistance, local hubs in local languages, also for you. There will be satellite events for some of these companies that are difficult to follow all of the issues in English. We have already organized some of them, and please refer to our social media to be informed about the future events, trainings that we will provide, and so on, that may help you in your application process. So if there are no further comments or questions, I would like to thank you all and wish you a very successful application in our open calls. Thank you.
Boris, before closing, I would like to make a final suggestion. We know that in several cases the language is a barrier, so we are planning and organizing local, let's say, webinars or seminars regarding SMART4ALL in local language. So please, the colleagues from Kosovo, from Albania, from Serbia have already initiated these activities. So please stay tuned through our social media in order to notify about the forthcoming seminars in local language will be intensified within the next week. And don't forget about our training sessions regarding how to write a successful proposal. Okay, thank you very much from my side as well.
Okay, well, and that will be it. I would like Christos to conclude the meeting. And
I'm sorry, I have one question. Can I ask?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, can municipality be part of this program like a receiver? Because we have some collaboration with one Norway company. We are developing something that has two parts, one software part and one that is, actual product. So we want to make some like pilot that would be the first user could be a municipality and is connected with smart cities and such a thing.
And who would be the technology provider?
My company and a company from Norway.
So it's an industrial company.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then it's possible. You would be in this case industrial academic.
So municipality.
We could consider the municipality as an academic in this case, because it's a public entity actually.
Only academic, not like municipality, like like a government organization.
No, I mean in that case, we can consider the municipality as a public entity, and then come as an academic. It's not foreseen to be that case, but I think maybe Nikos could say something different. But in my opinion, we should include that possibility as being an academic receiver.
Please bring your partner on board, and we will treat him as an academic, meaning that it cannot lead the proposal, but it can join the proposal as any other academic. So no problem to join.
Okay, so in that case, could technical park be like a part of that? like, you know, there are technological parks in
Yes,
the capital.
it's again in the same domain. It's academic research institute. So if you are referring to a research institute, for me it's still an academic. I don't know, Antonio, do you agree?
But we are talking about municipalities or a mix of both?
No, instead of municipality, could be like a technological park.
Yeah, I mean,
That is.
Yeah,
This is the first type of the partners, like system integrators and technology providers. They are system and accelerators of this technology transfer exchange. So they fit into the third category that we didn't mention that much because they usually fit into one of the previous two. But they can be, like in this case, a public body like a science and technological park or technology transfer center that is a separate legal entity and that is under public governing. So yes, it is possible.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if this is it, then I thank you all once again and wish you a very successful application, a nice week. And until the next local event or training, I farewell you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Boris, and everyone for your participation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Waiting for your proposals. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, thank you.
Bye.